Oh my god, it's snowing. Fuck. Привет, my name is Vlada Vitrova and today we're going to learn how to go from this to this. So the first part of the makeup is the canvas preparation that I already did because I thought that my camera was filming, but it wasn't. So I will tell what I just did, which is basically I did this weird ponytail and I have lots of baby hair that I absolutely hate. I think it looks amazing on some people, but on me, I absolutely hate that. So I just used like this hair gel. I don't know how to say that in English. And then I used loads of bobby pins. And then I use a vodka to clean my skin because it's an alcohol-based product that is not that strong, so it won't damage your skin. And now what I'm going to do is to use a little bit of I don't know what to call that, moisturizing cream, something like that. I like to start my makeup doing like from here up. I use a lot of eyeshadow, I'm very colorful, so sometimes the powder gets to the bottom of your face and I completely look like that guy, oh fuck, how is his name? Anyways, it gets a huge mess of color, of powder, and if you already have your foundation here and then you try to take the powder off, it will look absolutely horrible. So I first do all the upper part and then I go to the bottom of the face. So to cover your brows, you will need glue, and you will need this kind of brush that has a softer part and another one that looks like a small comb, and translucent powder. So let's start doing that. And then you take that side of the brush with the comb and you comb your hair upwards, like that. So you see that they are not sticking, and then that's where the other part of the brush comes, which is a little softer. So I use that and I press it really hard so that the brows will really stick. You do the same thing on the other side. And now you just wait them to dry. So once they are dry, you can repeat. Of course, not doing this movement, otherwise you will mess everything up what you already did. But just put more layers of glue on the top, as much as you think it's necessary. Drag makeup's pretty much like that. You have to try and try and try and get it wrong several times so that you learn what does your face ask from you. Never try like to follow the tutorials strictly. I use usually 2 layers when I'm making pictures and 3 layers of glue when I'm going out, but I don't know how much you will need. You will have to discover that. So now I'm going to apply 1 more layer of glue, but I won't wait for it to dry. While it's still wet, I will get the translucent powder and get one of those sponges and kind of press the translucent powder. This is also a step that you have to know how many times you need to do that. I only do it once. Why is it important to apply powder? Because powder, first, it's the best thing to fixate your makeup so that it doesn't melt or anything like that. So use the powder in order for the glue to stay. And also because the powder will help to fill the little spaces between the hair so that it looks evenly. And one thing that also people ask me a lot is, oh, but how do I make it super evenly? Every time that I try to glue my brows, it still looks like I have brows under all the glue. Well, shave it or use Facetune, because that's what the queens that you follow on Instagram do. They either shave it or they use Facetune if they do not shave it, because it's humanly impossible to hide your brows in a way that it looks like you have no brows, and unless you have like very, very, very thin and blonde brows, but that's not the case with everybody. So now that my brows are pretty much glued and fixed here. Now we will start to hide them. What I use first is a pinkish concealer, and then it comes a little bit of color theory, because the darker your brows are, then the more orange should your concealer be. And the lighter your brows are, then the pinker your concealer should be. I had to stop the video a little bit and because I forgot to put my contact lenses on. So don't do that and don't be stupid like me, because the contact lenses should be the first thing you do. For two reasons. The first reason is because if you do that after your makeup, you will probably cry a lot and your makeup will go to hell. It will look horrible, it will look all messy. And also because when you use powder, sometimes powder gets inside your eyes, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to get an infection by having powder between your eyes and the contact lenses. So do that first. It looks horrible, it looks like a mess, because as you can see here, the edges are full with glue and full with powder. So clean that. Why? Because this part of your face is one that you move a lot because of your facial expressions, unless you have facial expressions, but I'm pretty much sure you do. So it will crack your makeup if you do not take the excess off. So I just basically use the same alcohol-based product to clean the edges. I should have done that before putting the concealer on, but life is made of disappointments. So get a translucent powder again. Get the thing that I'm not finding, but I just found it, which is the same sponge you use at first. And do the same thing. So let it bake. So I think one layer of concealer is okay for me, because I use lots of eyeshadow on the top of that, so you cannot see my brow. But if you're looking for a more softer look, you should probably apply one more layer of concealer and powder to fix that. So now I will go for the foundation. I use that paint stick. You don't need to put a lot of paint stick because it's very greasy and it already blends very well. So now you take another sponge. I have 3 sponges that I use for the skin. One for the darker tones, one for the clown, and one for the middle tone, which is the foundation tone. So you just blend that shit. It's okay if it goes on the top of your hair, if you're using a wig, of course, and if you have hair. And as I already said it a couple of times, it's greasy, it's creamy, put powder on the top of that. You can also put translucent powder if you want to, but since I'm already very pale, my skin tone is very pale, my normal skin powder, it's almost translucent. So this was the first part of the tutorial, where you learn how to prepare your hair and prepare your skin and look like a thumb. The next videos I'm going to show the eyes and then the skin and then the final detail. So there's 3 more videos to go, but if there are some doubts still about the process of preparing the hair, the skin and covering your brows, just ask me here on the comment section and I will answer. Okay? So, paka paka, and we see as soon.